Last night on MasterChef Australia.
Justine, I'm going to give you encouragement. Hurry up.
Justine just missed out on beating Mac Moran in the Celebrity Cook-Off.
I'd take my hat off if I had one on.
For me, it's priceless. I'll never forget this day in my life.
Tonight, we have an epic 90-minute special.
This is going to be absolutely incredible.
As our chefs say I do to catering a wedding.
Let's go, come on, you can do it.
It's a test of endurance as they work through the night to make it a day to remember.
Who doesn't have their wedding cake organised the day before their wedding? Yeah, the pressure's on.
Welcome to the industry.
Can I tell you, I'm scared.
You got 2 minutes, guys, come on.
This is going to be extremely tight.
The celebrity challenge is over. Massive day, looking forward to going home, and then...
Everyone, come on down. We've got a surprise for you.
I don't like not knowing what's going on. I don't like things being up in the air.
Let me introduce you to Andrea and Sean.
In come a lovely man and lady together, and I'm thinking, what are we doing? Are we cooking them dinner? What's going on?
Now these guys are getting married.
Congratulations.
Well done, guys.
The 6 of you will be catering for that wedding.
Of course we will.
And the wedding is tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. This is a really special day for 2 people and we want to make it perfect, but with this time restraint, is it really possible?
A wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. We cannot screw this up.
This is possibly the most daunting challenge you've faced so far. The wedding is real, the guests are real, and this challenge is very real.
The next 24 hours is going to be absolutely insane. So we've got to cater tomorrow for a wedding party of 100-odd guests. The fact that we've got no notice is just nuts.
Andrea, as the bride tomorrow, are you nervous?
Very nervous, but very excited as well. I can't believe my big day is here.
Sean and Andrea are really funny. She's lovely, and Sean is very understated.
What about you, Sean? What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, just at the end of the ceremony, that's what I'm looking to, the end of that, when we're finally married.
They seem like a lovely couple and they seem really happy and, happy people you want to cook for them because, you kind of want to be part of that.
The wedding is on a boat called the Blue Room in the Sydney Harbour. Normally, you'd be split into teams. For this challenge, you'll be competing as individuals.
We still get to work as a group and interact, but it's going to come down to individual performances.
Andrea and Sean have already come up with a menu for the 4 courses. There's 2 canapés, 2 entrees, 2 mains, and 2 desserts. You will need to split up those dishes amongst yourselves so that all of you have a chance to show what you're capable of.
You'll have to decide between you who takes what responsibilities. Gary and George will be with you in the kitchen. Sarah and I will be upstairs with the guests. Together, we'll decide who has performed best in this challenge. Based on the food that you individually cook, we'll be deciding on the 2 least impressive performers. Those 2 will face an elimination round.
Do I want to be in an elimination challenge? Absolutely not. That I have to cook my butt off tomorrow and I have to ensure that I'm not in that position.
The 4 best performers will be coming to lunch with me at one of Sydney's best restaurants.
You'll now head to the bar with Matt and the bride and groom to discuss the menu. Good luck, everyone.
We go into the bar with the bride and the groom and with Matt. We have a good chat about the menu.
The point of this challenge is not about being creative, it's about executing a menu exactly, on time and perfectly, so you make these guys have the best day possible.
Absolutely. Having just been through a wedding myself, food at my wedding was extremely important, and I know from the comments from all of our guests that it was a highlight, so hopefully we can produce the same thing for Sean and Andrea tomorrow.
Sam, maybe you'd like to read the menu out.
The canapés are dill potato cakes with smoked salmon.
Oh, sorry, the canapés. Because I've got a gluten-free diet, usually canapés are usually flour-based or usually packed with gluten, and I always feel like I miss out. So the potato cakes need to be done with no flour in or anything like that.
Dietary requirements are part of the catering industry, so the fact that Andrea has to have a gluten-free diet, then we have to cater for that. It's her day, she's the boss.
And a warm tartlet of brie cheese.
Do you have a picture in your head of how any of those canapés look?
Delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Delicious we can do.
The entrees are Asian chicken salad or crab and smoked salmon parcel.
I'll state the obvious and Asian chicken salad.
Julie and I took on 2 things each, a canapé and an entree. You are putting yourself out there to do the first 2 dishes in a row. In hindsight, I think that was probably a bit stupid of me and Julie to do that.
The main course is beef fillet with wild mushroom ragu or a crispy skinned salmon with tiger prawns.
I wouldn't mind doing mains.
The mains are a massive part, and if they're not right, then people will point the finger, but I'm prepared for that risk because that's why I'm here. I'm here to be a chef.
Andre, you'll be doing the main of the beef fillet. Any questions?
How do you guys want the beef done? Medium rare?
I think they should be all medium rare.
They have a little bit of a disagreement about how the beef should be cooked. So when in doubt, I just listen to the bride.
Do we have the room to ask for them to be well done? Because I know that some of my family will probably want it well done.
That's not a problem. I'll just cook some well done just on standby there.
I think we need to.
For sure. No problem.
After a bit of discussion, I'm going to stick with the mains with Andre, and I'm going to do the crispy skin salmon.
And the dessert is lemon and lime cream tart or hot chocolate fondant with vanilla bean ice cream. Chocolate fondant, eh?
Tomorrow I'm responsible for the chocolate fondant with the ice cream. So let's hope I don't screw that one up and go home.
Sam, you'll be doing the dessert of the lemon lime cream tart. Any questions?
With the tart, with the pastry, are we making our own? Am I making my own?
Yes.
Yeah.
While I've made pastry before, it's a tough thing to get right, to get perfect. So yeah, it does make me slightly nervous.
Sean, Andrea, huge day tomorrow. You need to go get some rest. Think about the fantastic time you're going to have tomorrow and the amazing food that these guys are going to put up for you.
Sean and Andrea, my wedding day was the happiest day of my life, bar none, and the food was a really big part of that. I feel really honoured to be a part of your wedding tomorrow, and I promise you that this team here is going to deliver you a wedding that you won't forget.
Thank you. That's really nice.
Thank you very much indeed for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Good luck, guys.
Sleep well.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
The briefing for the wedding is over. This is going to be a full-on challenge. It's going to be the most nuts one we've had so far.
There's just one other thing. Every wedding has to have a wedding cake. So you will need to also bake them their wedding cake for the wedding tomorrow.
I'm sorry, but who doesn't have their wedding cake organised the day before their wedding? A wedding cake.
The problem is, a wedding cake can take up to 7 hours to bake and decorate.
Tonight? Before we do tomorrow? Are you kidding me?
Sean and Andrea, they are getting married tomorrow. We're going to be catering for their wedding. There are over 100 guests and all the prep's got to be done tomorrow prior to the wedding service. And we've got to make a wedding cake tonight, which takes up to 7 hours.
But look, we're not totally heartless. Waiting for you out in the MasterChef kitchen is Hundi from Planet Cake.
I'm really relieved that we have a wedding cake expert to help us out.
Planet Cake are renowned as making the best wedding cakes in Sydney.
The wedding cake is definitely the centrepiece of a wedding, and you want it to be special and something that the bride's going to sort of, really love.
So, I don't know what you're doing sitting here, because you better get into it, guys. Come on, let's go.
Let's do it, guys.
Come on.
Let's rock.
We all have to stay here for the next 6 or 7 hours to bake this beautiful wedding cake. It's going to be a long night.
So we're going to make a cake now?
Cake.
A wedding cake?
Yeah. Up to 7 hours to make this cake.
Has anybody made a wedding cake before? You have, haven't you?
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to be delusional after this. I already feel my eyeballs popping out of my brain.
Hey!
Oh, hello. After our little team talk, we're introduced to Handy. He's from Planet Cake, and tonight he's my hero.
Matt said that you guys need some help. I'm here to help.
Fantastic.
I've been decorating for over 15 years. I've done Nicole Kidman wedding cake, lots of celebrities. Most recent one, Celine Dion's 40th birthday.
Really?
As well.
Okay.
So, this is what we're trying to reproduce. The design is actually taken from Andrea's wedding dress, which is this one. So it's a lot of piping, so all we need is a steady hand and confidence. Okay, remember that Andrea is actually gluten-free. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna bake some gluten-free cake. That's for the top tier. Okay.
When we're looking at the picture, it looks like it's a 2-tier cake, but it's actually baking 4 cakes and then putting a cover on that.
Cake, something like this, normally will take us about 2 days to do. Okay. We haven't got 2 days. It's 9 o'clock now, so 7 hours, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Bake the 7-hour cake through the night. Yeah, it's going to be a long, long night.
How do you guys want to do this?
Why don't we do the greasing the tins, making the ganache, and let the other 4 make a cake each?
Yep.
Are you decorating with Julie?
I don't know. I'm really keen to do
Who's got the most steady hand?
I think Poh.
Yes, okay.
I felt like I was the only person that could have coped with the piping.
Who's got the most confidence?
Me.
Then you be decorating.
So we've all got our jobs to do to make this cake. Sam does the gluten-free orange cake. Chris, Justine and I do the chocolate mud cake.
We have 7 hours to do this. I think we're waking up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, so there will be no sleep. It'll be baking all night, so shoot me now.
I don't know where to start with the things that could go wrong with this wedding cake. The list is as long as the recipe. Everything from the cakes not rising to overcooking the cakes. I mean, there's just every stage is fraught with danger.
Handy.
Yes.
The man who's never baked before gets to be in charge of the special request from the bride, the gluten-free cake. Bit of pressure there.
So we're going to have 3 layers of chocolate and then 1 layer of gluten-free to go on top. So just reading through that because I haven't made a gluten-free cake before.
So everyone took a layer each, and then I made all the ganache. Ganache is just basically chocolate and cream holding the cake together, sort of like spreadable butter.
I'm doing one of the chocolate mud cakes, so I just measure it all up and I melt the butter with the water and the sugar with some instant coffee on the stove, then sift all the flour and cocoa.
In order to get no lumps in the chocolate cake, you should put a well in the centre of the dry ingredients and then mix the wet ingredients nice and slowly so there are no lumps.
So I'm responsible for making the gluten-free cake, which is essentially a flourless cake. The first step in making this cake is creaming the butter and the sugar, so getting that to the pale consistency. The second step is combining the creamed eggs and butter and sugar with the almond meal and also the pureed poached oranges. Once that's all been combined together, it's simply a case of putting that into the prepared tin and getting it at the oven at the right temperature.
40 minutes in and everyone's putting their cakes in the oven and I'm putting my ganache in the fridge.
There's so many little bits and pieces that can go wrong. You know, we're going to be baking in 3 different ovens. They'll be a little bit different, so we've got to keep our eye on that. It's a 2-hour bake. You know, if one of those screws up, it's 2 hours would put us behind. We could be still doing it tomorrow lunchtime.
Hopefully it does what it's meant to do in there, so it's now just a case of sitting back, waiting and twiddling my thumbs for the next hour and a half.
It's 11 p.m. and Handy finally gives us our recipe cards for tomorrow.
Before Matt left, he gave me this.
Yeah.
This is the recipe for tomorrow.
Cool, cool.
I feel a bit nervous. There's a bit more involvement in my dishes than I expected, and I start to question the wisdom of doing the 2 first courses to go out.
The bride is very strictly gluten-free, but she selected the potato cakes with smoked salmon because there was no flour. I've got the recipe and there's flour in the recipe.
Yeah, you want to open up for me, mate?
90 minutes pass, and it's time to open the oven and skewer my cake to test whether it's done or not. What we're looking for there is that you put a skewer in and it should come out clean. First time that I did that, I put it in and it came out filthy. So obviously it wasn't baked all the way through. So back in the oven, and it actually goes in for another 20 minutes.
The cakes actually took a lot longer to bake than we expected. My biggest fear tonight is not getting this thing finished. This is a cake for somebody's wedding day and it's got to be absolutely stunning.
What can go wrong with a wedding cake with 6 amateur cooks who's never made one before? Plenty.
It's been behaving quite funnily.
Has it? I think I must have walked away from the oven for a little bit while it was cooking for that hour, come back and...
So Handy, what's going on with that, mate?
Oh my gosh, my team is going to kill me. This cake is not going to work out at all.
Okay, don't panic. It's because you fill up the tin quite high. So what happened is the cake rose up and then it spill out the tin.
Yeah. It was okay at the end because Handy ensured me that because it's so high, we can take a little thin layer off the top and it'll be even better because it'll be nice and straight.
Yeah, probably another 15 minutes and you'll be done.
Okay.
This is, yeah, it's good. It's not
still
bad.
good?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Phew.
15 minutes later, open up the oven, skewer goes in, Handy has a look again, and we both agree it is done. So it's time to put it up on the cooling rack.
My cake comes out of the oven. At least that's ticked off and we can start getting on with other things.
Next, we need to let the cakes cool, and we actually decide to take them outside to help them cool quicker.
I took my cake out and cradled it like a beautiful little newborn baby that had been born in the oven.
The icing's going to be tricky, so Handy gives us a lesson.
So all you need is probably cut that for like 200 grams, just enough to cover this board. So you need rolling pin, icing sugar, or corn flour will be the best. This is shaker there. Yeah, that's corn flour.
Chris steps up to do the icing right away, and I'm happy for him to do it, but I have a feeling that he's not going to know how to control it. It does annoy me because it's something that I know how to do, but again, I can't do everything, so I have to just let go of that.
So what do we do?
You lift it up with this.
Yep.
Put it back in, hold it back up. Perfect. This is the acetate film, so you're just acting as a sandpaper or you can buff it. So you slowly cut through the edges like that, so it's nice and clean finish.
And we're given this strange little piece of acetate that you buff it with. That worked perfectly well, so gave me a little bit of confidence moving ahead. Do you want me to do the decorating instead? Because you've got the dishes that will go out first in the morning.
Yep.
That way you can get away and get some sleep.
Poh and Chris are going to decorate the cake. Poh's obviously an artist, Chris is a graphic designer, and they decide that they're the right people to do the cake. And we discuss as a team that the best thing to do is for some of us to go home and get some sleep rather than sit around and be useless.
Right, cheers guys.
Thank you.
See you in a few hours.
Appreciate it. Get some rest, won't you?
I will be disadvantaged without sleep tomorrow, but I'm quite confident that I'll be able to push through it because I do it with my work all the time, and I felt like I was the only person that could have coped with the piping.
Let's see if these cakes are cold.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're hoping that we can get this knocked over in a few hours so we can get at least an hour's sleep, but I'm not confident in that.
That's it. Be careful with your hands. Yeah, just gently.
The construction of the cake is really, really difficult. We've got to put ganache between each level, stack them up really straight. We've got to cover it in a thinner layer of ganache and get it absolutely perfect. Just make that front. We'll put the flowers facing that way and disguise.
All right. We're sort of quite proud of the fact that we've ganached all the cakes, except we hadn't even started rolling out the icing. So I was actually starting to get a little bit afraid that we weren't going to do this on time.
Is this right?
When I found out how the icing's done, I just thought this is going to be impossible. It's really delicate and it cracks. You've got to work really quickly.
So if it's too cracked, then you have to do it again.
It's too cracked.
Chris's first attempt at putting the icing on wasn't successful because he'd rolled the icing out too thinly.
Do you have more icing?
Start again, roll out the second disc. We try and do it quicker and support the weight.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, perfect. Crud!
But it breaks again. Can we fix this or not? No?
Start again.
Oh, you're kidding me.
It's all right, Chris. Just chill.
We've got to throw that out. So I don't know if we're actually going to be able to do this.
Whoa, just ease off.
This is probably one of the most nerve-wracking bits of the decorating because we're actually running out of icing, so we have to get this right. When we finally get all the icing on, it's a massive relief, but it looks like a nightmare.
Oh, that's rough.
Poh and I are starting to feel a little bit strung out now. The icing's on. Now we've got to assemble this thing.
Exactly the front?
Yeah. Take your hand away.
It's somewhere between 4 and 5 a.m. and I still have to do the piping. It's quite nerve-wracking because the icing is white and the piping is black. I can't erase my mistakes, so I definitely can't afford to make any.
I have to cluster some of them for effect. I'm going as fast as I can.
Looking beautiful. Piping is all done by Poh, and she's absolutely stunning at it. She's got a steady hand and a great eye, so I had to sit there and watch the poor girl pipe at this ungodly hour of the morning.
Looking great. Yeah. Fantastic.
Come on, we've got a wedding to go to.
I know. Shush.
Give me a cuddle.
Andy, thank you so much.
As I step back and look at the cake, I think, look, it's a really good effort because in a normal situation, even the people from Planet Cake would have taken 2 days to do this, and we did it in one night.
Are you all right? Oh,
Yes.
You're scaring me.
Let's go.
Okay.
It's now 5 a.m. We've been at the MasterChef kitchen for about 22 hours. Looks like we might get enough time to head home, have a shower, and get out and cook again. But look what we did. I'm not going to trip over.
Well done, guys.
Coming up, it's all hands on deck as wedding preparations get underway. And while the clock's ticking,
I'm getting scared.
Sam gets sidelined.
Ow, but it's just going to put me behind and it just pisses me off. I just feel like I'm letting everyone else down.
Waking up, I haven't had much sleep because I came back at 2:30 in the morning after baking the wedding cake. I rise and Poh's not in her bed, so it means that she was at the MasterChef kitchen all night.
At this point, I actually had been awake for 24 hours. We got home at about 5:15 and we brought the cake down to show the others who were already at breakfast.
Wow, that looks amazing though, guys.
Poh and Chris walk in with a wedding cake. It looks fantastic. So, you know, mission accomplished on that one.
Yeah, it looks amazing, Poh.
Don't look too closely, is all I can say.
I know you guys are feeling probably pretty tired, but have a shower and let's just get out of here, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, half the reason I'll survive on no sleep is because it's so important, this challenge. I mean, 2 people are going to face elimination and it'll be down to the top 5 after that. So it was worth putting the effort in to get the cake done, help out the team, and now it's individuals.
I think it's 5:30 when we leave the house to go to the wedding. So it's go, 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 get in the car, no time to waste.
rules of this challenge are that we have to cater a wedding of over 100 people. There's 2 canapés, 2 entrees, 2 mains, 2 desserts, and we're being judged as individuals on this one. At the end of this challenge, 2 people are going to go into elimination. I will be pulling out all the stops. I'll be doing everything in my power to be one of the top performers.
Wow, check this out.
Beautiful.
We arrive at the wharf and we see this enormous 2-storey blue room boat. It's an amazing place to have a wedding. I can't believe that we are going to be catering at an event like this. This is going to be absolutely incredible.
We walked downstairs into the kitchen and we were really surprised. The kitchen was huge and really well appointed, so we're very impressed with that. And we meet Tim, the head chef.
Clock is ticking already, so we've quite a bit to do. We need to get cracking straight away. Okay?
Absolutely.
Do you have a preference of where canapés and entrees and all that set up?
If you're on canapés.
After today, 1 person will be going home. So again, pressure to perform. I've just gotten through 2 elimination challenges in a row, and I think another one would really kill me.
We're on dessert.
Okay, you guys should work side by side here then, okay?
It's extremely important that I do well today because I need to stay in the competition. So when I leave, I have a great foundation to launch my career upon towards being a chef.
Wow. Good morning, how you going?
Good.
You guys have got an enormous amount of work to do in the next 4 or 5 hours. This is massive. To be honest, even in a professional kitchen, we would have done some prep yesterday. You're doing everything from scratch, and that is a huge ask.
We have 5 hours to deliver 8 different dishes between 6 people. We don't have any room for failure. We need to get this done, or else the wedding is going to be a disaster.
Who's in charge, by the way? I just think it might be an idea to have 1 person who's going to coordinate it. If you don't have a point of contact in a function like this, you're going to be in big trouble.
George and Gary suggest that we need a team leader, and I stick my hand up. I have a dessert to do, but it's the last dish served, and I know that I can get around, help people, and get them organised.
Get a narrow pot that thing fits into so that you're not holding it with your hands.
I'm doing a canapé and an entree. Poh is also doing a canapé and an entree. I'm making the potato and dill cake. I've got to make at least 150 of them. I've got a question.
A question, what's the question?
The bride is gluten intolerant, strictly.
Yeah, and it says flour.
The canapé has flour.
All the flour's therefore, with a little potato cake, is to help it fry.
It doesn't help it bind?
No.
We decide to do it with plain flour and just make half a dozen of the canapés with gluten-free flour.
Oh, you're looking tired, mate. What's happening? Did you sleep? You do, you look knackered. You look knackered. Did you make the wedding cake last night with the guys?
I did.
And did you get any sleep?
No, I didn't.
What, none?
Poh and I got home at 5:30 and didn't sleep.
Welcome to the industry. Yeah. Fantastic feeling.
Yes, chef.
Justine, what are you doing? What's the dish that you're looking after, or the dishes you're looking after?
I'm doing a main today, and I'm doing the crispy skin salmon with the prawns.
Andre, what are you doing? Tell me what's the dish?
Beef tenderloin with mushroom ragu and champ potatoes.
Right, working together on the main course because it's 50-50. Half the guests get beef, half the guests get salmon.
We've got our work cut out, but we'll definitely pair up as a team and pump this out. Yep.
Good.
Cheers.
Sam. Hi, George. I'm looking after a lemon and lime cream tart with fresh strawberries and cream.
Like, is it a curd?
It's like a custard.
Custard, set custard baked in the oven?
Baked in the oven.
And you need to make the pastry?
I can't yet because the butter's still hard.
So why don't you get it somewhere warm so you can get it softened down quickly?
Yeah, no problem.
Because, I mean, that dough needs to rest.
Yep.
It's really important. Nick?
Absolutely.
Chris?
Yep.
What are you looking after?
I'm on dessert. I'm doing a chocolate fondant with raspberries and a vanilla bean ice cream.
Chocolate fondant. Are you scared as you're tipping it out they're going to crack and are you going to have some spares? What's your plan?
Yeah, I'm going to try and make about, 10 or 20 spares.
I commend you, but can I tell you, I'm scared.
You have an hour and a half before the first lot of canapés have to leave this kitchen, okay? Now we need to move it. Let's go.
I know you're all working individually, to stay in the competition. But at the end of the day, there's a wedding upstairs and we need to feed them, okay?
It's starting to catch on the bottom a little bit.
I don't think it's ready yet.
Po's running around like a mad woman. She's freaking about her pastry cases. She's confusing herself.
Get these in the oven.
So I've got to end up doing a lot of the pastry side of the dish for her and get them in the oven.
We're going to be under pressure with this swing pastry, I know we are. And what do you want me to do with it? I've got no other way of getting it done. Ow, I just done it again.
With 1 hour before service, I stuck my hand in a food processor like a dickhead.
Is it a bad cut?
Yeah, it's bad cut.
Yeah. Gary says to me after I cut myself to take a time out for 5 minutes and get myself composed.
I know you feel stressed. Go and sit down. No, can I tell you something? It will just keep bleeding. Elevate it and just have a cup of tea, right? And it will stop pumping blood. Then put the Band-Aid on it and then come back down and work.
Chris, can you help me with my pastry there, mate?
Just tell me what you need and I'll get onto it.
Sat out for about 15 minutes. My dish is all about timing, and this 15 minutes on the side is going to really test my ability to get the final product out.
But it's just going to put me behind and just pisses me off. I just feel like I'm letting everyone else down.
So they got a lot of work to do. Yeah. The two guys on the main course, which is Justine and Andre, they are busting a gut. They look really organised.
Yeah, they do look organised.
They've got the mashed potato on the go, and Justine as focused as ever.
I'm worried about Poh and Julie.
Julie, yeah.
They've got a lot to do. They've got canapés to do. They've got the entrees to do. It's a lot of work, and they need to be racing through all their jobs.
Poh, do you still need help with slicing up that chicken?
And Sam cut his finger.
There was a few tears. I mean, you understand, they're emotional. They have had no sleep, you know, and they're under pressure.
Chris and Poh, no sleep at all during the wedding cake, so it's difficult.
We have so much to do, it's not even funny anymore.
The guests are boarding as we speak.
When we start hearing people come in, it definitely gets the adrenaline pumping and it sort of, I guess, becomes all a bit more real. It's not just any challenge. We've got a wedding to cater for.
So, guys, the pressure's on now, OK? You've got 1 hour before the first lot of canapés have to leave this kitchen.
I've really got to get these guys organised or we're going to be screwed. It's funny being down in the kitchen because we're really isolated, but when the guests arrive, we can hear and feel them getting onto the boat, and that's just like, oh, shit, this is happening, and it's happening now. We've got to cater for a wedding party of 100-odd guests. We're all just freaking out.
Guys, the pressure's on now, OK? Are we going to be ready?
Yes, chef.
The first lot of canapés have to leave this kitchen.
We got to start moving.
Now you guys are really, really under pressure.
The bride has arrived. I've got to get this job done. I want to do it for her.
Cooking at somebody's wedding, there are huge consequences for not getting this right. A wedding's one of those days that if everything's not perfect, it tends to taint it.
I just can't wait to get this underway. It's my special day. I hope the food's going to be fantastic, but I do believe, I trust them that it's going to be fantastic.
We can't stuff it up for Sean and Andrea because it is their wedding day today. And we can't stuff it up for ourselves because we don't want to go to elimination. I don't want to go to elimination.
Are you going to make it, Poh? Do you need any help?
Yes.
Yes, what?
I need some help. I'm getting scared.
I'm going to help you then.
I need to do another layer and a half, and then I can start pressing them into their tins. We need to get them baked.
We're just frantically trying to get these canapés in order. On my canapé is a tartlet with brie cheese and a red onion marmalade.
They're not very round.
I know they're shrinking.
I don't think it matters if they're a bit wobbly around the edges.
Just maybe squash them out a little bit.
Where is Camembert? I want to get it out.
Here.
Because it's stone cold at the moment. Where's your onions?
I'm wondering.
Where's your onions?
In the fridge.
hosed her around like a headless chook. I actually had to take her into the cold room and try and calm her down and focus her.
Go in here.
Cool my head.
Yeah, you got to just calm down. You're losing it. We've got to concentrate on this to get it out, okay?
Yeah.
No, he's got a big heart.
What do you want this at, Sam?
180, please, Chris.
You look completely lost. What's happening here?
No. Hot.
I think Julie and I are both struggling because we're trying to think ahead into the entree. It's starting to really dawn on me that it was a huge mistake to pick 2 courses that followed one another.
You need to push these out very quickly. You need to grab the other tart shells from over there.
Yep.
You need to do exactly what you're doing now as quick as you can.
Guys, the ceremony has begun. That means in 25 minutes, the first canapés must be upstairs. Yes?
Yes, Chef.
Friends, we've come together in the presence of God to witness the joining of Sean and Andrea in marriage. Will you, Sean, have Andrea to be your wedded wife?
I will.
Will you, Andrea, have Sean to be your wedded husband? Now, we need the ring. I, as a minister of Christ's Church and by the laws of this state, pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
You got 2 minutes, guys. Come on.
I'm happy with Chris being my team leader. It is really important that we have someone checking all the food that goes out.
Thank you very much for asking.
I'm helping Poh with getting her canapés out. This challenge was set up in a way that individuals will be judged, but it was never going to work if we didn't operate as a team.
Chris?
Yeah.
I've done like 160.
Okay. They're all plated?
No, they're nearly done.
Okay.
All good.
I'm actually starting to plate up my canapés. The potato and dill cake with smoked salmon. I've got to make at least 150 of them. Poh's canapés are going out at the same time, so there's a good mix circulating for the guests.
So Judy did these little dill and potato cakes. You got 1 minute before the waiter's going to be coming down and picking up the first lot of canapés.
Try and squash that down onto it a bit so the creme fraiche doesn't fall off. These are done.
Hi, guys. This is for the bride. She's gluten intolerant, okay? So that's specifically for her. Thank you. All right. Thanks, guys. 50 of each have gone out. 100 to go of each.
Hi, Tess. Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I'm Matt Preston. How do you do? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hello. How do you do?
When the canapés start going out to the guests, I feel relief. Phew, first course, okay.
That's really nice. Congratulations. Thanks, mate. I love the dill and salmon.
Potato cake. Yeah, they were beautiful. I had that one. Delicious.
The guests are eating the canapés that we've sent out. I really hope they like them. I guess in terms of the competition, what's important is that Matt and Sarah like them.
Well, the canapé service has started upstairs, so I think it's quite a good idea to come down here and, in a quieter environment, look at what has happened.
I think food at a wedding is almost the centrepiece. At the end of the ceremony, everyone is hungry. You're aware of your friends and family. They're getting restless.
First canapé up is Julie's. She's made a dill potato cake with smoked salmon and creme fraiche.
What do you think?
That combination of creme fraiche and that very fresh aniseedy flavoured dill is fantastic. If we're standing up there with that beautiful view of the bridge and you put one of those in your mouth, I think you'd be pretty happy. This is Poh's canapé, warm brie tart with red onion marmalade. The first thing I see about that is that lovely, glossy, shiny layer of red onion marmalade, but there's also a sense that the pastry is quite thick and heavy. So overall, with the pastry being thinner, that would have been a magnificent canapé.
Guys, that's all the canapés gone. We need to get the entrees up. You got 30 minutes.
No.
We are frantically, and I mean frantically, working to ensure that we get these out. This is going to be extremely tight.
Canapés are gone. We've got less than an hour to get these entrees ready.
Jazz, I need a lemon mayonnaise.
Right this second?
Entree.
Okay, I'll do it for you, yep.
Nice and lemony, Jazz, for me?
Yep.
I'm freaking out a little bit about the entree because I haven't started prep for it. It's a smoked salmon and crab parcel.
Have you made the parcel yet?
The parcel is the smoked salmon. So it's wrapped in smoked salmon as you go.
Is it already done?
No. Yeah, look, I know, George. I've only got 2 pans.
I'm going hammer and tongs on the crab and smoked salmon parcels. Things aren't happening as quickly as I need them to happen for me to get my dishes out. I'm very worried.
You have 5 minutes before the entree leaves this kitchen.
Yeah, the pressure's on.
Can anyone help me?
We're absolutely going hell for leather now on the entrees. I've pulled Sam over to help. Poh, she's massively behind. Poh does tend to be a bit of a liability in the kitchen under that pressure.
That's okay. No, don't worry about it. Don't stress, okay?
Second course served is mine also. It's an Asian-style chicken salad. It was actually a really stupid idea to have done canapés and entrees, just because the spacing of the 2 courses was just an idiotic thing to take on. The whole idea of me doing the chicken salad was I thought I could make it beautiful, but I lost track of the chicken cooking. I'm not managing very well.
Is it done?
Can somebody help Julie plate, please?
Yes.
Gary's pulled me up for being a sook. He said that as soon as I start feeling out of control, I give up really easily.
Keep them all the same size, yeah?
Yep.
Be a bit more positive.
Okay.
All right, because this is where you get defeated and your little artist thing comes in, you get all sooky lala about stuff. You haven't got time to be sooky lala.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
You got 1 minute for their entrees.
Okay, what do you want me to put on this? Julie, what do you want me to put on this?
You need to clear your benches and you need to start getting the food along the paths.
I'm just putting dressing on.
1 minute, guys. Come on, let's go. Come on, you can do it.
The entrees have to be leaving the kitchen, okay?
I could face elimination if my entree aren't up to scratch. While we're still in the kitchen, Sarah and Matt are tasting the entrees. Yeah, I'm pretty nervous as per usual.
I look at these 2 here and I go, I want to have this smoked salmon parcel. This Asian chicken salad here, I think looks a little bit meagre.
I would have food envy. If I had the chicken, I'd be wanting the salmon. It looks more substantial.
Right, well, let's taste Julie's dish, the smoked salmon parcel, stuffed with crab, some avocado, and some tomato. Very fresh, very light. Avocado and crabs are a beautiful combination. The lemon mayonnaise adding a little bit of acidity. The perfect way to start off a Reading banquet.
I actually really like it. I think it's really pretty, it's very appropriate, and I think that the majority of guests would find this a really lovely way to start the meal.
I really loved the salmon, the wraps. I thought they were so beautiful with the crab cakes inside, and I thought that was really clever with the salmon, how it wrapped around. Everyone's loving the food, it's gorgeous, yeah.
I had the salmon as my entree and I thought it was very nice.
The salmon was superb. I mean, it really was just beautiful. Melt in the mouth, yeah.
Right, time for the second entree. Poh has made this dish, which is an Asian chicken salad. My one feeling is that it looks also a little bit dry, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. Crisp capsicum, really good, bright dressing. The chicken is, I think, too dry. It's been taken too far. Is your chicken as dry as this chicken here?
Dry. Look, everybody loves chicken. That disappointed me a little.
So your entree's gone out. The mains have to go out.
There's speeches after entrees, isn't there?
Which is happening now. So we're allowing 10 to 15 minutes for clearing, 10 to 15 minutes for speeches, and then the main has to go.
I think my life's been truly blessed since I've met Andrea. I'm very happy and proud to call you my wife.
I lived in England and he lived in Australia, and I thought, it's all just a little bit unachievable. It's all just a little bit rushed. It's all just a little bit ridiculous. But it always felt just right, just like this wedding. So I'm very happy to be Mrs. Heath.
I'm doing one of the mains, and that is crispy skin salmon with tiger prawns. I'm excited bringing out all this food, but I'm not excited about our timing. We're not ready.
Justine, where are you up to?
Okay, I'm up to prepping the fish for the crispy salmon.
Okay.
So I'm just going to make sure that there are no bones in any of these, because, oh, look, there you go. I can feel...
Yeah, no, you've got to pin bone those, so you need tweezers
It's
to
going to take a
them
long
out.
time. Okay, so I've prepped all my fish, and now I'm going to start getting the fillets ready.
Okay, guys, we've got about 25 minutes till mains, all right? So don't slack off.
I need to keep it warm. All right, 10 minutes. That oven's really not hot.
I'm on the other side of the room, so I'm a little bit removed from what's going on. I'm doing the beef with the mushroom ragu and the Irish whiskey cream sauce, and I'm about halfway to 3/4 of searing off the beef. I also did 10 kilos of baby potatoes for the side.
We're tracking all right. We should have the main out, and then it'll be all about plating up.
You have 5 minutes to go.
Gary and George cooked 5 minutes. We're plating up. And the first few that went out had a bit of blood around the mash because I pushed the meat down onto the spud, so it bled the remainder onto the mash.
I noticed Andre's beef, there's a bit of blood there. That's always a risk if you don't rest the meat well enough.
This is what I've been waiting for all day. I don't care how tired I am. It's plating up. Getting it out there is really exciting.
You've got to sit on that half. It's split in half.
Yeah.
Fish, beef. So you pie.
Come on, we really need to get the main courses. The waiters are waiting for the food now.
They look really nice, Justine.
Jules, we're going to do centennial.
30 meals, 25 meals to go, yeah?
Sammy, come on, beef.
We're going to take all the mains out.
Sarah and Matt are tasting our mains upstairs. I hope that they got one with not much blood on the plate.
The main event, the moment we're all waiting for. Everyone's been delicately dancing around entrees and canapés, and suddenly here you are, the big meal that's going to sustain you for the rest of the evening.
That looks great.
What it?
Oh, this is great too.
So, entrees, beef with wild mushroom ragu. This plate looks pretty clean, but I have seen a few coming out of the kitchen. Didn't look nearly as good. And they had sort of blood leaching out the side of the meat, and it all looked a bit scary.
Carnage at a wedding's not a great thing.
Yeah, no, That to me is definitely medium. The bride asked for medium rare. She did want a few pieces past medium, so maybe this is one of the ones for the people who like their meat slightly more cooked.
Yes.
When we walk round and have a chat to people, it'll be interesting to see if this is one of the rare, well-done ones, or whether it's a well-done one.
My main was the steak. Fillet was very nice. It was juicy. It was pink in the middle. It was not overcooked. If it had been, it would have gone back.
I had the beef. It was absolutely beautiful. It was just cooked to perfection. Just absolutely delicious. Loved it.
So, the other main course, Justine's crispy skinned salmon with a tiger prawn and broccolini. Salmon or whale, it's huge.
It's robust, definitely robust.
That's flaked apart quite nicely. There's definitely some good crunch in the skin at this end. And the broccoli looks bright and green.
I had the crispy skin salmon, and I loved it.
My part of the day is finished, and I'm relieved that it's all gone out. But it's no time to rest because it's time for desserts, and it's time to help them because they helped us.
We now have 20 minutes until our desserts need to be plated and ready to go out.
More at the back. We're going to do a fondant
Yeah.
The little thing of raspberries.
Yeah.
It's a little quenelle of...
All that you can think when those minutes are counting down to service is, let's just get this out, let's just get this out. I'm making the lemon and lime cream tart. I had a bit of an issue with the pastry in the food processor. Okay, so take some out?
Yeah, it's way too much in that.
Ow, I just done it again.
Sam decides to cut his finger again, so he sidelined for a while. I had to make his pastry for his tart, so it's in the back of my mind that my dish is getting further and further behind.
What's happening, mate?
This is too wet, right? And this is too dry.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is get this flour into this.
I've lost about half an hour now to this bloody cut on my hand. I just need to get back in the kitchen and motor like a man possessed. My responsibility at this point is to get the lemon tart out. I have to take the tarts out of their moulds.
Like that, just around the sides.
And slice each tart into 12 even slices.
The bride should really not come down to the kitchen because if she saw what we were doing, she'd be really worried because we were like headless chooks.
Okay, listen up. You got 15 minutes before dessert has to leave the kitchen, all right?
Chris realises that the fact that he's been hands-on in other areas, that he hasn't done his fondant at all, and generally the head chef in the kitchen doesn't actually have a dish of their own.
Yeah, top. Perfect.
The fact that Julie and I did most of the work required with the fondant
Good stuff. Thanks, Sammy.
is just being part of that team.
I did the chocolate mixture. Sam's been measuring that out and we've been checking it, but I've just had to oversee so many people that I had to delegate it.
At the end of the day, one person potentially is going to go home, okay? So you need to make sure your fondant is spot on, all right? Think about that. Don't forget about it.
I'm quite annoyed that Chris has delegated his dessert to everyone, and if he gets credit for this, I will be really, really upset.
Right, you got 5 minutes to go, so hope the desserts are ready to go. Sam, tarts are all plated up, ready to come back onto the pass.
Yep.
You've got customers to feed. This is your last course.
Watch out, watch out. Okay, let's boogie, let's service now.
Everybody is working flat chat. Whether other people did more on their dish and less on others, it doesn't matter, as long as the food goes out on time and is beautiful.
Good job on the fondant. Well done, well done. That looks great.
I am so relieved. The tart looks really nice, elegant and simple, and my fondant looks really, really nice.
Concentrate and finish it off, guys. You're doing a brilliant job.
I need 3 more tarts and 1 fondant.
Mate, they've done a really, really good job.
Guys, it's the last bit. Let's keep going.
I think we're going to make it.
It's not over until Fat Georgie sings, all right?
I know all the guests are upstairs eating our desserts, but Matt and Sarah are up there tasting all the dishes. And I know Matt is going to be really looking hard at my fondant, so I hope like hell he loves it.
I'm quite tense actually this moment. I don't know if you are. I want to get straight stuck into that chocolate fondant pudding, but look how it's oozing like magma down the mountainside of Mount Etna. That is the way a chocolate fondant pudding should be. That's a cracker. I can look at that and tell you right now that that is going to be the dish of the night.
That's phenomenal. To think that Chris has produced that downstairs, incredible.
That is a perfect chocolate fondant. He's delivered exactly what he's supposed to deliver, and he's done it beautifully.
I was the one that went for the chocolate, and it tasted exquisite.
The chocolate was lovely.
I put the fork into it, and it just opened up, and the chocolate melted out. It was just, it was wonderful.
Let's move on to Sam's lemon and lime tart. It has a big, big job to do to eclipse that dessert. This needs to be an absolute killer if he wants to stay out of the bottom 2. I'm a little bit concerned here about the colour of the pastry around the back. It looks a little bit dark, and I'm concerned that may be a little bit dry. Is it great pastry? No, it's not great pastry. It's not the sort of pastry where you go and do this, and the last thing you eat is that crust because it's so delicious.
And I'd say I agree with you. It does come down to the pastry. This is not the best I've tasted.
The lemon tart, I thought the pastry was a little bit thick and a little bit drier. The lemon burst with flavour, and I really loved that, but the actual crust to me was a little bit thick.
Then the last food item of the night is the wedding cake that we took all night to bake.
Wedding cake's a moment in any wedding where the bride and the groom just get to share a moment of their love, and the wedding cake's the centrepiece to that. It needs to be something they look back on and go, wow, that was our wedding cake.
Yeah, there's a gluten-free half and a normal half, and it's really hard to get a nice gluten-free cake. It's delicious.
There's a lot of blood, sweat and tears in that thing, but it tastes brilliant.
I thought they'd struggle to get this done on time, but
You've done a great job.
they've done an excellent job.
Very impressed.
The challenge is over. It's been a stressful situation, but we did it. We pulled it off.
Brilliant, brilliant job. Well done. Relish this moment because it's fantastic. You did a fantastic job. Well done.
I can't believe we've finished and we've done it well, and it was the best feeling ever.
We just wanted to say thank you so much to Sean and Andrea for allowing us to be part of your wedding. It means a lot to be here with you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
I'd love to thank all the chefs for a supreme effort. It was just fantastic food.
It's interesting doing challenges like this because it makes you daydream a little bit about the future, and I can really see myself in my own restaurant sending out my food to my customers. It's a great feeling and I can't wait.
Everybody, here's to the last 24 hours. Cheers.
Riding the wave of success we've had today, and then to know tomorrow that 2 people will face elimination, it doesn't feel right. It just reaffirms the fact that we are in a competition and someone's going to have to go.
Today's elimination day after 2 massive days with little sleep.
The last 48 hours have just been huge.
It's been a tough couple of days. There's been a lot going on. I mean, we catered a wedding and we pulled it off and everything went out on time, and I feel a bit deflated really that somebody's got to be eliminated today after that. We've got to get going, guys.
I've got a feeling that we're going to get a bit of a hammering from the judges today, even though we did a really good job yesterday.
There's only 6 chairs sitting there and it feels like the place is empty. Where has everybody gone? It's kind of bizarre and we're all nervous as hell.
Morning, everyone. Well, it's the day after the wedding. You look tired. Yesterday, you conquered a challenge none of you a few short weeks ago would have thought possible. You worked together, but you were judged as individuals based on the meals you cooked. Gary and George watched you in the kitchen as you cooked, while Matt and I mingled with the guests and tasted your food.
That's really nice.
We now have to decide which 2 of you underperformed in yesterday's challenge. Those 2 people will be tested in a never-seen-before elimination battle. The 4 of you who avoid this elimination battle will enjoy lunch with Matt Preston at S Restaurant. It's a 3-chef hat restaurant, one of Matt's personal favourites. And of course, it includes a few hours' experience working behind the scenes in the kitchen as well.
Let's talk a little about yesterday's experience. Overall, you guys did an absolutely amazing job. Having 100 people sitting upstairs and a wedding certainly puts the pressure on. And we're very proud of what you did.
We have to pick from 6 very strong performers the 2 that were least impressive. Okay, Poh, let's put you out of your misery. Your canapé of the warm brie tart with red onion marmalade looked like it was going to be a problem because that pastry was very thick. If that pastry hadn't been as good as it was, it would have been a fail. The sweet sour marmalade of the onions worked very well against the creaminess of the brie, and it was a very successful canapé. The same cannot be said of your entree. The Asian chicken salad, Poh, that you made was dry.
How long did you cook that chicken breast for?
I can't remember. Sorry.
Hence why it was probably overcooked.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable. That would have got thrown in the bin in my restaurant.
In a very sort of Poh way, which George and I have become used to, when the pressure's on, when you're really feeling it, you buckle.
I need some help. I'm getting scared.
I know I'm a good cook. I just don't handle pressure well, and I'm not performing as a result, so it's really frustrating me.
Go in here.
Cool my head.
Yeah, you got to just calm down. You're losing it.
I stupidly chose 2 dishes that were, you know, a little bit complex, and
I think you have to put the blame squarely on yourself. It had nothing to do with anything else other than letting yourself succumb to the pressure. That's the only thing that stopped you producing a beautiful entree.
Julie, you also cooked a canapé and an entree. How do you think you went?
I think by the time they went out, I had done the very best I could. I would have liked to have had more time to finesse the plate.
The canapé, the smoked salmon, the creme fraiche, the little frond de dill with the potato cake were delicious and worked exceptionally well together. Your entree of the smoked salmon parcel stuffed with crab, avocado and tomato, it was generous, it looked good on the plate, and it was a successful dish. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Julie, you're a rock in the kitchen. You stand out because you know where you're going, you know what you're doing, you know what the goals are, and you're a good team player.
Thank you.
I feel really good about that comment because to me that's just an affirmation of how I've sort of grown and learned, and it's really nice that he's noticed that.
I'm really pleased that you tried so hard. Well done.
Thank you.
Andre, you cooked a main course, a beef fillet with a wild mushroom ragu. How do you think it went?
First few that went out bled a little bit because I was pushing the beef onto the potatoes. I felt good by the end of it, but there were a few hiccups at the start.
Potato's like a sponge, it just sucks all the juices down. Unacceptable, you can't let that happen again.
The whiskey sauce with black pepper worked exceptionally well and was very well commented on. The mushroom ragu had a deep, dark, rich flavour, which also worked very well with the meat. Justine, you cooked the alternate main of crispy skinned salmon with broccolini. The plate that came to the table was a huge bit of salmon, looked like it had been chopped from a whale. Generous portion, looked good, and the crispiness of the skin was really one of the successes of the night.
Justine, you're surprising me over and over again in the kitchen. You direct well, you know what's going on, you know what has to be done, and you get your head down and you just get stuck into it. Fantastic job.
Chris, you cooked a dessert of hot chocolate fondant pudding with vanilla bean ice cream and some fresh raspberries. How do you feel the dish went?
The fondant turned out well. It was last minute, but came together.
You really picked the highest risk dessert. If those chocolate fondants don't, when you cut them open, goo like that, it's a disaster. And as it opened, this kind of melted chocolate magma oozed out. You'd almost hear angels singing at that time. It was a standout dish of the night. Well done.
Thank you. I just want to thank Sam and Julie, though. They helped me a ton to get that together because I was really behind it, trying to get that done. So if it wasn't for those guys, it wouldn't have happened.
You were no doubtably the hero yesterday in our eyes. You stayed up all night to get that wedding cake done. You put your hand up first to lead the team and support the team. You helped everyone throughout the kitchen. And on top of that, you pulled out the dish of the day.
It was interesting that George said I was the ultimate team player because I put myself aside, my dishes aside for the team and making sure that service ran smoothly. So it was nice to hear that actually acknowledged the effort that I put in.
Sam, you cooked the alternate dessert, a lemon and lime cream tart with strawberries and cream.
Yeah.
You're sitting there looking pretty nervous, mate. How do you think you went?
Look, I think all in all, the dish in the end was actually quite good. Process-wise, I struggled with the pastry bit. There's no doubt about that.
How did the plates come back from the dining room?
I don't know.
About a third of the plates did go back with a piece of crust left on the plate. So I think that does say a lot.
The pastry was too thick, it was too dry, and quite frankly, it was disappointing.
Look, I think you were disadvantaged right from the start. You chopped your finger, and it was quite a bad cut. That put you out of sorts. Don't underestimate how that affected the rest of your day.
Do you know what, guys? That wedding was an absolute hit. The guests were happy, the bride and groom were ecstatic, and that food was a hit. But the moment has come for us to reveal which two of you contributed the least to that success. Those two will now go head-to-head in a sudden death elimination battle.
I'm now going to reveal the names of the 4 of you who have done enough to keep your place in the MasterChef competition. Chris. Julie.
Thank you.
Relieved?
Yeah. We were discussing this and saying we're really glad it's up to you guys this time and not us, because we were really proud of ourselves, all of us.
Yes, they should be. Justine. And the last person who's guaranteed a spot in the final 5 of MasterChef Australia is Andre. Well done, Andre. Sam and Poh, I'm sorry you didn't perform quite as well as the other members of the team.
You all right, Sam?
Yep.
It's not over yet, Sam. You've still got a chance to stay in the competition,
No,
remember.
I'm sorry. Stupid.
What's going on?
Just disappointing, Gary, that's all.
Tomorrow night on MasterChef Australia, Sam and Poh go head-to-head
This is the Culinary World's version of a penalty shootout.
as they face an all-new Elimination Challenge.
The first person who incorrectly identifies one of those ingredients goes home.
That pot contains your fate.
The first ingredient I'll say is celery.
Celery. Sure?